Ladies and gentlemen, isn't it ironic how they believed they could break someone who had already endured so much? Welcome to Momentum Surge. They thought they could push you to the brink, bring you down, and use your past struggles against you. But they were gravely mistaken. They didn't realize that the very things they tried to exploit were the pieces of you that made you unshakable. They mistook your scars for weaknesses, convinced they could find cracks in your defenses. But those scars were marks of strength, evidence of battles you've already won, proof that you've survived far worse than anything they could throw at you. They thought they'd be the ones to finally defeat you, to finish the job life had already failed to do. What they didn't understand was that the pain and darkness you faced before had forged you into someone stronger than they could ever hope to be. They played their games through their hurtful words, thinking they could get inside your mind or heart. But all they did was reveal their own fragility in comparison to someone who had already withstood far worse. They never realized that you'd learned and grown from every wound, every betrayal, every loss. You rebuilt yourself, learning and growing stronger with each setback. Instead of breaking you, your past gave you wisdom, strength, and the insight to see through people like them. You weren't fooled. You saw right through their attempts from the very beginning and let them think they had control. Because you knew that in the end, they were only fighting themselves. They thought they were getting close, tearing down your walls, but they were never getting past them. You were watching and learning. You let them reveal their true selves, believing they had the upper hand. They thought they could overpower someone who had already faced their darkest days, but they didn't realize you had made peace with it all. You had learned to transform your struggles into sources of power, not weakness. They believed they had uncovered your secrets and fears, but you were always one step ahead. Anything they thought they could use against you had already been conquered. You had already endured the worst and emerged unscathed. There was nothing left for them to destroy. They tried to use your past to make you feel weak, but instead, they were dwarfed by your strength. Now, they are left facing the truth of who you are, the person they failed to break, and who ultimately taught them a lesson they won't soon forget. They expected someone fragile, someone who would crumble at the slightest trouble, but they got someone forged by adversity, who rose above it all. You taught them that strength doesn't come from living an easy life, but from surviving the storms and emerging stronger, wiser, and unbroken. Their attempts to control and hurt you were met with a resolve they couldn't even fathom. They thought they would leave you in ruins, but it was they who ended up exposed, undone by their own insecurities. Now, they're left realizing that their power was never real. It was an illusion that collapsed when you saw through it. They underestimated you, thinking that your past of pain meant you could easily be broken again. But what they failed to grasp was that your past wasn't a burden. It was the foundation of your strength and proof that you could overcome anything. They thought they could make you doubt yourself, but instead, they've been left questioning their own worth, methods, and motives. In the end, they played themselves, thinking they could trigger your insecurities. But every attempt they made to break you only made you stronger. They've learned that true strength doesn't come from manipulation, but from enduring, from rising above the challenges. They sought power, control, dominance, but all they were left with was the stark realization that they were powerless against you. They underestimated the strength of someone who accepted themselves, who faced their past and found peace in it. That realization will linger with them, a lesson they can never unlearn. They've learned that you can't break someone who's already been through hell and come out the other side. You showed them that the strongest people are not those who've had an easy life, but those who have fought through the hardest battles and still found the strength to keep going. You may have scars, but you're far from broken. Now they understand, don't they? They know they were never the threat they thought they were, and they never had the power they believed they had. They're left to grapple with their actions, questioning why they tried to break someone so resilient. As they move forward, they'll carry this lesson, even if they never intended to. They'll wonder what it is about you that made you so unbreakable, so strong, and so beyond their reach. Meanwhile, you've walked away stronger, wiser, and free from their influence. Let them be haunted by the reality of their loss. Let them wonder how they failed to break you, the person they underestimated. In the end, They're left with the aftermath of their actions, and you continue to move forward, leaving them behind with their regrets. They'll always remember you, the one who walked away unbroken, the one who taught them the true meaning of strength.